Bow hunting with the good old boys. Patience pays off. With your host, Keith Hughes, owner of Bow Hunters Choice Company. You may have seen Keith at one of the many hunting trade shows he attends around the country. An avid bow hunter, Keith has been hunting game of some kind since the age of 10. A former tournament shooter and pro shop owner, Keith is knowledgeable of this magnificent sport called bow hunting. Keith's special celebrity guest will be Dean Durham, host of the nationally syndicated TV show Outdoors with Dean Durham. Dean is known for his ability to call whitetails into close range and has taken hundreds of quality bucks.
Texas Hill Country. It's pretty country, some big bucks. I can't wait to get after them with a bow. That's gonna be fun.
Now let's join Keith and ranch owner Pat Everett.
And I know you've got several species of game out here. Tell us a little bit about your ranch.
We've got a management program on most of the ranches for 9 years. We got lots of quality bucks. When you're hunting here, you'll see a lot of small bucks, and if you'll just weed through them, well, there's enough good bucks here that you wait them out, well, they'll be here. And along with that, we try to take some does with the management program, and I've got spring turkey hunting, and then the season's open in the fall also with the bow season. And we've got some good turkey hunting, got roosts on the ranches, and you'll see lots of turkeys. There's also varmints. We've got bobcats and fox and varmints like that the season's open on. And so there's lots of game to hunt.
There sure is, there sure is. I tell you, this is just a beautiful, beautiful place. It's a bow hunter's paradise. I mean, if you're wanting a good quality hunt here in Texas, come see Pat Everett at Manzi Creek Outfitters in Menard, Texas. We're going to be hunting in the hill country of south central Texas this week after some of these nice Texas bucks. This particular area is just abundant with trophy-size animals. It's a bow hunter's paradise in here. What we're going to be doing, since the trees are not really big enough for lock-ons and particularly climbers, we're going to be hunting out of tripod stands. We're going to butt them right up against these trees. They blend in real well. And what we've done is we've glassed this area here for 2 mornings now, and we've seen the bucks are coming through well before legal shooting light. So what we've done in this particular case is we poured out a small pile of sweet feed in hopes of holding the bucks well after legal shooting light. So we're going to get out of here now, and we're going to be right back in here in the morning. 140.
I believe it was at least, I know it was 135, 140 probably. The rack laid out, just kind of went straight out like that. I couldn't tell how high it was, but it was at least a 20 inch 9 horn. I believe it was a 10 or 11 probably.
He's a shooter.
Yeah, he was a good shooter. And there was another buck with him that was an 8 corner that's probably 16 inches spread. And then another small buck, maybe 6 corner, whatever.
Knowing that the deer have been coming through this area early in the morning, Keith is on stand and ready 45 minutes before legal shooting light. And none too soon, as the deer start showing up 15 minutes later. Still a good half hour before legal shooting light. Eating acorns and licking sweet feed, Keith can see a big pair of antlers swaying back and forth in the moonlight. He has no choice but to be patient. This has to be nerve-wracking. Due to low light conditions and the buck's early approach, the camera gain was switched up to brighten the picture. Sensing that the buck is growing nervous, Keith can wait no longer. After a 2-hour wait, Keith picks up the trail.
He came right down through here. There's not a drop of blood. I heard him crash the gate. Yeah, boy. Yep. He didn't bother jumping it. He just knocked it down. Well, my arrow ought to be laying around in here, but I don't see arrow, blood, or anything. There's my arrow. Right there's my arrow. All right. Yeah, that's good lung blood. Good lung blood. Frothy, you can see the bubbles in it. Broke 2 of my blades off in him. Yeah, I thought it went through and it hit the shoulder on the other side. We should find this deer no problem. Oh, he's bleeding really good now. There he goes, there he goes. All right. Good buck, nice buck. Well, I'm telling you, Minzy Creek is loaded. We had 4 bucks under us this morning. I'm not sure this was the best one, but this can give me the best opportunity. And we just run up a whole passel of deer back in here when we was running him down. We could tell he was gone. He wasn't going to go too much further. That is a heck of a buck. That's a nice buck anywhere with a bow. Nice buck. 19 inch, good solid 19 inch. 21 inch main beams. 9-pointer. He's a real good buck. Real good buck.
Our special guest is Dean Durham. He's been patient and has already called in and passed up several smaller bucks. Let's join Dean now and see if this patience has paid off.
There's a nice buck. He ran across and went into the wood line on the far side. Oh, that's a nice buck. See if I can run him back. Here it comes back. Here it comes back. Come on back, big boy. A little closer. He's a little far out. Let me take a shot. That's a nice buck. That was a good hard hit. He came in just right. There he is, right there. That deer didn't go nowhere. Look at the size of that buck. Oh, he's down. Look at there. Boy, that is a pretty one, isn't it? Look at that rack. Isn't that gorgeous? Boy, I'll tell you what now. That is a fine buck for the Texas Hill Country. Big old 8-pointer. Look at there. That's probably a 19 outside. Probably main beams, probably 19 or 20 inches. Those back G2s look to be about 8 inches, so I bet that deer's a Pope and Young record buck. I guarantee that deer probably scoring the high 120s, maybe 130. That is a fine buck. He's probably 160 pound on hoof, maybe a 4.5-year-old, maybe 3.5, but probably 4.5. Oh, this is a fine deer right here. I tell you what, when he came out, the way the wind was blowing, I took a little bit of a long shot. Deer was probably 37, 8 yards. I normally don't shoot him that far, but he just turned broadside just right. I can't get over how he came to the horns and the grunt. That MC product grunt call brought him right back in. I tell you what, that is beautiful. I am really proud of that one.
Back in Carolina, we find Keith now running the camera and calling with the hands-free doe bleed, filming his friend Daniel Heggie.
jumping. Hit. She was just as hard as, oh, she jumped.
With 2 hours of daylight left, Keith knew being patient after the first kill and continuing to bleat with Modern Call Products doe call, he stood a good chance of calling in another deer. He was able to call in a second doe only 20 minutes later. Now that's a freezer full of venison in only 20 minutes, plus one happy bow hunter. So remember, be patient. Here we find Keith priming this area for a future hunt. Keith is making a line of mock scrapes with the aid of Wildlife Research Center's Ultimate Scrape Drippers and one of his favorite scents of theirs, Mega Tarsal Plus. This is a combo that's worked well in the past for him, and he feels this is a prime spot for another mock scrape attempt. After several days of having to abandon his stand due to sudden wind shifts, this particular morning, things were about to get better. Except for the fact that Keith's cameraman had taken sick, and Keith was now attempting to film himself. A nice 11-point buck approaches and walks by just out of range. Keith doesn't let this shake his confidence. He knows that if the buck doesn't bed down, he'll make a wide circle and should exit the small woodlot the same way he entered.
Here comes a small basket rack 8-pointer. He's well out of range.
Well, that's 2 bucks just out of range. Keith continues to wait patiently. Then a button buck hurries by. Buck movement is definitely at a peak this morning. These does are now standing in the second of 3 mock scrapes Keith has made. Keith's anticipation builds as he hopes this is the path the big bucks take on their way back to the thickets.
All of a sudden, I hear heavy footsteps. It's got to be one of the bucks. As the rut progresses, bucks, and in particular big bucks, have a tendency to drag their feet. It was this drag step sound I was hearing.
Sure enough, it's a buck. The big buck that had eluded Keith earlier this morning. By this time, he's already in a standing position with the camera rolling. It looks as though the big buck might jump the fence. Knowing that the tree bark camo has him totally concealed, Keith begins to give estrus bleats with his hands-free doe bleat. Notice the buck's tail flick, signaling that he's completely at ease.
Filming and shooting. It's rough. Right there's my eye. Oh yeah, that's a good hit. Oh, we got blood splattered all over the leaves right here. I hit him. He kind of run this way, made a circle, went right down here and jumped the fence. He ran right down the fence line. Let's see if we can pick some blood up over here. Yeah. Here's blood. Right here. He jumped the fence. Went right down the edge. I could hear him all the way. Okay, right here's where he jumped the fence. Come right down through here. And right here's just a big heaping blood. We just splattered blood everywhere. I know he ran this way because I could see him most of the way. Okay, got plumb out of. Oh, there he is. Right there he is. He's down. He's down.
All right. Woo! Score another direct hit for the eagle. Nice. All right, nice buck. Woo! Yeah. 11. You gonna count that little thing there? Whew. He's a pretty buck, boy. He sure has been tearing up some trees. Whew. That's the second time this morning this buck came by me. First time I was fiddling with a camera, couldn't get a shot, and luckily he presented it. I thought he was gonna walk out of range there, and I pulled out the old trusty hands-free doe call and blew it. He turned around and come back toward me. He walked right through a mock scrape I'd made with a Wildlife Research Ultimate Scrape Dripper that I had filled with megatarsal gland. That's some good stuff. Whew. Oh yeah, he's a nice buck. I'm tickled to death. Score another direct hit for the muzzy. Boy, I tell you, that 130 grain sure does the number. He didn't go but probably, I'd say 100 yards tops. I did hit him a little far back, but I caught liver. The muzzy done his job.
down he went. So I'd say the combination of things helped out on this hunt. He's a nice deer.
Well, it's January 15th, the dead of winter here in North Carolina, and deer season's over. So where's Keith? At home taking it easy? Yeah, but not for long. A call from a friend, and Keith's on the road to Alabama, where the season doesn't end until January 31st.
Hello? Yeah. 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 Okay, well, I'm on my way.
Upon arrival, Keith checks in with landowner Bert Davis, who tells Keith of a real nice buck he had been seeing. Keith takes note and is ready to get cracking. After some brief but intense scouting, Keith confirms that there is indeed a nice buck in the area. Blistering hot scrapes also confirm that the rut is in full swing. With a minimum of disturbance to the area, he places his stand and quietly slips out of the area. After a couple of days of being patient and braving the element, Keith knew things could only get better. Oh well, As it so often happens, the angle of the buck's approach prevented Keith from getting a clear shot. But knowing what's been taken off Bert's land in the past, and knowing what's still out there, there's no doubt that Keith's going back. So if you like an affordable, quality, late or early season hunt, give Bert Davis a call. They'll do you right. This video has been brought to you in part by Modern Call Products.
Finally, they're here. Hands-free deer calls from Modern Call Products.
This special feature allows you to be in full, ready-to-shoot position at that critical moment. With the no-hands call, you'll create less movement and noise. Simply leave the call in your mouth and take your shot. With Modern Call's special design, there are no more noisy, dangling tubes, and our calls are the most natural sounding on the market today.
With over 30 years in the game call business,